Most people believe you need polished thumbnails and slick editing if you want to succeed on YouTube. But how is it possible there are people who just yap for 30 minutes straight, zero editing, or they'll draw childlike pictures on a whiteboard and you can't even read what's going on, and somehow they're still pulling in hundreds of thousands of views and dollars every single month? Wouldn't it be much easier if you could do the same and turn on the camera, talk for 15 minutes, and just have your calendar booked with calls? Well, there's actually an art and science to making this all work, and in this video, I'm going to review some of the inside secrets that the leading creator founders are using to make these simple, boring videos that pull in crazy revenue every single month. And you want to make sure you use these strategies now before the rest of the market catches on. And if you're new here, my name is Patrick Dang, and I got to 340,000 subscribers on YouTube and generated 7 figures purely from this organic YouTube channel you're seeing today. So let's go ahead and dive into these secrets. Now, to use these strategies for yourself, you're going to first need to understand the history of how boring videos even came to be. So a few years back, Iman Gadzhi became extremely popular on YouTube and other platforms, and he popularized the style of making his videos very highly polished, crazy thumbnails, like very high effort kind of vibe. He would do a 2-camera setup, a lot of flashy editing, and this really caught on because at the time, most people were doing very boring talking head videos, and so he came in with a splash and came with something new. Now, as he made more money doing this style, it became more popularized, and so everyone started pretty much copying this highly polished style as well. So as everyone started to get more polished, people got fatigued and tired of this, right? Because it felt too performative. It felt too much like the person was trying. And on the other end of the spectrum, we have people like Sam Sella, who became extremely popular in the fitness niche. And his whole thing was like this raw style, just pick up the iPhone, him driving to the gym, working out, and people haven't really like experienced that before. On one end, we have the polished side, and the other end, we have the super raw side, which exploded in popularity. And because it works so well in fitness, all of the info, coaching, consulting kind of characters started to take that style and implement it into teaching their knowledge. And that's why over the last year or so, this boring style of video became extremely popular because it became very fresh and different in the market. Now, the interesting part is these boring type of videos are getting overplayed, meaning everyone's trying to do it as well, right? Where I think everything's going is people are going to adopt this new style of content, which I'm going to coin as the effortless era. And that is where you're not just picking up an iPhone and just talking raw. Too many people have done that. What people want now is they want some level of production, some level of quality, but they want it to feel very effortless, like you're not really trying. I would still consider this a boring style video or simple video because really you just need a camera, some good lighting, you just talk and do a talking head video, but the production quality increases. And I'm gonna show you some strategies on how to make this even more different and unique moving forward. But at the end of the day, the process is still the same, where you're just making a talking head video, which people love right now. So let's get into why boring videos even work in the first place, right? And when I say boring, it's really just talking head video with a bunch of B-roll on top, some animations here and there, some sound effects, sometimes no sound effects at all, depending on your niche and what you want to do. These videos work really well because they're extremely relatable. The person making the video doesn't have to like try so hard. They don't have to vlog. They don't have to put a lot of effort. It kind of feels like you're just sitting down outside like I am now and just having a conversation, right? And it doesn't feel like you're being sold to. It just feels like you're just sharing some knowledge that you've gained over the years. And this style really allows you to show your expertise, your authority, and then you can also tell stories of your clients' successes and show some social proof. So it kind of checks all the boxes when it comes to an educational type of content. Now, from a business owner perspective, and if you're really busy running a business, right, trying to get clients and make money and all that, this kind of style works really well because it's easy to make, it's easy to stay consistent, and it's also easy to stand out if you know how to do it the right way. So, like I was saying before, if everyone's doing these whiteboard styles or I'm just going to yap in front of the camera, you're not going to really stand out, especially in your niche where everyone's doing the same thing. What you want to do is add one little twist to make it slightly different from everyone else. And I'll give you an example of one of my clients, James, who's starting his YouTube channel. So James is someone who's very successful at running ads specifically on Amazon, right? This is his expertise. He gets paid really well to do it, and he can help clients make a lot of money selling their products on Amazon. But if he just did talking head videos behind his desk, talking about how to make money on Amazon, he's literally like everybody else. So what we came up with is James has unique characteristics in that every weekend he likes to go out into the ocean, deep sea dive. He catches his own food like lobsters and fish, and he'll even make his own sashimi, right? So this is kind of interesting. So what we've done is we're taking his talking head style videos, which are the boring, simple type of videos, and then he's going to share his knowledge and experience, but we're going to overlay them with this sauce or this intention of of this flavor of being adventurous, right? And he actually lives that life. So it's really easy to take clips from his everyday life, these B-rolls, put it into the A-roll to make that talking head video so much more interesting. And instead of just talking about like, oh, here's how to get your cost per click lower, right? He's gonna tie all these concepts into adventure, living a balanced life, like working hard, but also playing hard, right? And putting these things together. And that's gonna make him so different. And I would still say this is a boring, simple video, but you can make it stand out so much by just adding that layer of personality to it. So outside of layering B-roll, if you actually want to make these boring type videos work where you can just sit down and just talk, I actually have a framework that I created called the 4 Ps that's gonna show you how you can really put in your personality. And if you don't follow these steps, your videos are literally going to be too boring that nobody's going to watch and you're not going to get any views. Now, real quick, if you're actually serious about building your personal brand on YouTube, LinkedIn, or even Instagram, so you can attract high quality inbound leads into your business, I want to let you know that I have an upcoming free training where I'm going to show you exactly what I'm personally doing to build my premium personal brand to attract high ticket clients and basically give you the entire playbook so you can do it too. This is specifically for people who are experts in their fields or even business owners who just need more visibility and eyeballs so you can sell more of your products and services. I put a link in the description for you to sign up, get all the details and the dates to attend the live training. Now, spots are limited for this training, so once they're gone, you're out of luck. So make sure you get your spot today. So let's go ahead and get into the 4 Ps. The first one is going to be your personality. So that's your worldview, your philosophy, your beliefs, and any unique character traits that you have. So like I was saying about James, his philosophy is that he works hard, plays hard, goes on adventures, likes to do these deep sea diving and catches his own fish, right? But at the same time, he teaches people how to be successful in Amazon ads. So because he has this adventurous personality, it makes a very dry, boring subject very interesting because people that watch him want to also live a very fulfilled and interesting life, not just learn how to make money. Next, we're going to go into performance. So performance is essentially just your delivery style and how much conviction you speak with. So if you talk like, oh, well, I'm not really sure if you can make money with Amazon, then it's like, okay, no one's really going to take you that seriously. But if you come in with such confidence, like if you do X, Y, Z, as long as you're not an idiot, you're going to make some money, right? There's that level of confidence that translates through the camera. And so you need that performance ability to, showcase your personality and communicate well. Next one is physical appearance. So how you physically look, whether you're in shape, you're attractive, and sometimes it's just characteristics or things that you wear. And I'll get into some examples of some popular influencers that we're going to use to demonstrate all of this. And the last one is proof. So your client results, your case studies, testimonials, and I actually just use a version of proof right now, right? When I'm using James as an example of a client, it shows my expertise in knowing how to build YouTube channels for my clients and combining their business and interests of putting it together. So anytime you can just throw that into a video, layer in some pictures, that's all you really need to do. So I want to give you some examples of how we can apply the 4 Ps and looking at other characters online. So let's say someone like Alex Mosey, right? Does he have personality and strong opinions? Absolutely. He'll die by the sword by what he believes. He tells you what he likes, he tells you what he doesn't like. Does he have the performance ability to speak on stage and speak on camera? Absolutely, right? He's very charismatic. He has a lot of conviction in how he speaks. Physical appearance, like you can recognize him from a mile away. He's like this buff, lumberjack, bearded kind of guy with a nose strip, right? It's like he has a visual identity that's very distinct. Proof, he has a lot of customer testimonials, proof that, people saying nice things about him. So he kind of hits all the 4 Ps. So in his videos, if you really watch closely, he's just talking in front of his desk and he probably has a teleprompter in front of him and they're just going to have like simple, bullet point slides on the video itself. Even if he didn't have any editing at all, he's just talking raw live, people would still listen because he's hitting all of these 4 Ps. So the question is, when you're thinking about your content, what level are you at the 4 Ps? Which one are you good at that you should double down on? And which parts should you improve? I know for myself, one thing that I didn't do that well was, using my physical appearance to get more clients. And I remember one of my friends told me damn, man, I was checking out your Instagram and dude, you look jacked, He's like, you should definitely use that more in your content because it's going to attract clients. I'm like, really? You think that would actually work? He's like, yeah. Funny enough, I had someone apply to book a call with me to work on their YouTube channel. And in one of the questionnaires, it said, what's your biggest challenge to achieving your goal or something like that? And then inside he wrote this, a couple paragraphs. In one of the paragraphs, I'll read it to you. He said, I relate to a lot of what you post. Maybe it's the long Muay Thai background, used to compete back in high school with friends, or just the shared experience of growing up in the West with Asian roots. Either way, I'm in a spot where some advice would really help. So he's not even saying, I love your content and the tips that you give. He's literally booking a call because yes, I show competency and social proof that I am who I say I am. But what stood out so much that he would want to book a call and spend, 30 minutes with me on a call is the fact that I do Muay Thai, probably the fact that I'm jacked, probably my Asian background as well. He's also an Asian person. So you would be surprised. It's these, non-tangible characteristics that are the thing that get people to take a step forward and actually, take the action you want them. For the record, this person did close and he did become a client of mine. So now that we understand that boring videos do work, showing your personality absolutely can make you more money. But how do we use this concept to growing your business as fast as possible, especially when it comes to creating content and dominating and becoming an authority on YouTube? So right now, we're in this weird place where AI content is basically flooding all of social media, right? And we call it like AI slop. And what's happening in a world where AI is starting to take a lot of market share, more and more people are starting to gravitate towards realness, real people not using AI. Because if you think about it, a sophisticated business owner who wants to spend 5 to 10K on some kind of, service that helps them make more money or save time, they're not watching this AI slop. They don't want to see it, right? To them, it feels like a scam. They want to work with a real person who's making real content and just being honest in front of the camera. If someone's going to make a $10,000 decision, even $50,000 decision, do you think they really care about all these flashing lights and editing? Not really. That's really more for maybe B2C, selling to everyday regular people. But if you're a business, you're selling to other businesses, right? You don't need all this fancy stuff. What you need is to, number one, show that you understand the person's problem. And number two, show that you are the best person to solve the problem. And if you think about how I'm making this particular video that you're watching now, all I had to do was pick up my camera, come downstairs, put it over there, hit the record button and start talking. There's no lighting setup. I'm just using the natural sun and that's really it, right? So if you're busy and you want to grow on YouTube, but you don't want to spend so much time making these like cinematic videos and spending like 20 hours of your week just making content, the simplest way to do it is make these simple, boring type of videos and adding that personality element, adding that B-roll element of your everyday life to make it a little bit more interesting and stand out. And that's really all it is. And I would say right now, for this particular strategies, there's so little competition. Most people are just stuck doing the same thing, doing the whiteboard video, talking to the camera. But if you really add that little taste, that element, using the 4 Ps, you're just gonna stand out way above everybody else. And because it's so easy to make this type of content, you can actually stick with it. Because I know for a fact, there are a lot of smart people out there that want to do YouTube. They start, maybe they make 5, 10 videos and then they just give up because they say, oh, it's too much work. It's not worth it. It's not making me money. But if you can find a formula, a simple formula that you can repeat every single week, you could be making these videos and getting a bunch of views and clients and having leads come to you every single day just from making 15-minute videos every single week. Now, if you're a business owner or someone who wants to start a YouTube channel for your business to generate inbound leads coming to you, it's not enough to really just to watch this video and be like, oh, I got it, right? You actually got to execute and put in the work. And for those of you who need that extra help of implementation, getting some help to find the right positioning, content strategy, and even a little bit help with the content creation itself, I actually work with people on a one-on-one basis where I consult them and help them build their YouTube channels even from scratch and turn their personal brand into a lead generation machine that brings inbound leads to you. And right now in 2026, this is probably one of the biggest business moves that you can make, because when you have a YouTube channel where you're building trust, people are spending hours on your content before they show up on a sales call. They're already 80% sold. Now you just need to take the order. This is the meta. Whether you're big on Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, at the end of the day, all roads lead to YouTube because it's the only place where people are consuming long-form content right now. So if you want help building a YouTube channel similar to what I've done for myself, I highly encourage you to book a call directly with me where I'll personally map out a growth plan for you and a strategy on how you can actually dominate your niche on YouTube. And if it makes sense, we could see what it would look like if we were to work together. Now, if you want to watch another YouTube video on exactly what type of content you should be making to attract buyers, make sure to check out this video right here.